We're told that grains, pardon the pun, but it is ingrained into us that these are the basis of every healthy lifestyle. And I'm not saying eating some grains in particular. So when we look at grains, the one aspect is the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is excess carbohydrate consumption isn't good for us, and we can get into this if you want, as we go along. But through an evolutionary perspective, carbohydrate consumption would have been seasonal. We would have consumed carbohydrate in the form of fruit predominantly at the end of the summer in order to fatten us up for the cold winter. So it's not designed to be consumed in high quantities through all the way throughout the year. So that's one mistake we make. But the other danger when it comes to grains is that they contain a compound called lectins, particularly in the form of wheat germ agglutinin. Now, wheat germ agglutinin does a number of things. One, it blocks the absorption of other nutrients. So when we co-consume that with something that's highly nutrient dense, like a piece of beef, for example, the lectins will bind to the microvilli, the epithelial cells and the microvilli lining the gut. So this is the microvilli. When we consume foods, the nutrients come in and they bind to the microvilli, and this is how we absorb all of our vitamins and minerals. But the lectins, they'll bind to these receptor sites, causing the microvilli to do this, basically reducing that surface area. So now we have far less surface area for the body to absorb nutrients. So that's one thing. So if this is happening, the body doesn't receive the signals that it needs to say that we've eaten a highly nutrient-dense meal. So then we'll go back and eat more of said food, which is usually carbohydrate based again. So that's one aspect. The second is that these wheat germ agglutinins will bind to these epithelial cells on the enterocytes lining the gut, and they'll cause the release of a molecule called zonulin. And when zonulin is released, it'll cause a gap to appear in the tight junction between the epithelial cells, which we don't want. This is basically intestinal permeability or leaky gut. And then these undigested protein molecules will travel into the bloodstream where they shouldn't be. So the body will create antibodies to fight them. The problem with this is through a process called molecular mimicry, the body will then start attacking other proteins in the body that look the same. And that is autoimmune disease. So basically, anyone you know who suffers with an autoimmune issue, it comes from this intestinal permeability. And for the majority of people, in the majority of cases, it comes from these lectins in the form of wheat germ agglutinin. So this is a compound that is toxic to the human body. Lectins are found in a number of things, but the grains are the predominator in regards to the amount of damage that can be caused to the lining of the gut. So this is where autoimmune comes from. This is where this inflammation comes from. And co-ingested with this carbohydrate, now we've got this insulin resistance. So now we're in a state of insulin resistance and inflammation, which is the root cause of almost every illness and disease that we know of. Yet, we're told to eat muesli for breakfast, as you say, and we're told to eat brown bread over white. There's no difference between brown bread and white bread. In fact, there's a tiny little bit difference in regards to the to how healthy one is for you, but neither are healthy. They both very detrimental to the body. It's just they get to say that brown bread is healthier, which is arguable, but let's pretend it is. It's this much healthier, but it's still very, very unhealthy for you. And it goes well beyond this as well, because every compound that we consume on the high street is breaded. Everything can, you go to a fast food restaurant, chicken nuggets. If you go to a restaurant, it's chicken breast that's breaded. Where's the real food? I just want a chicken breast. I don't want breadcrumbs with my chicken breast. I went to a restaurant recently and I ordered calamari, and it came breaded. I just wanted the calamari. I don't want the bread, So it's everywhere we turn. We've got this toxic compound in the form of wheat germ agglutinin. And, we haven't even mentioned yet how detrimental the vegetable oils are. And in the supermarket, every compound, every product, and I'm not going to call them foods because they're not foods, but everything in a shiny packet contains high volume of carbohydrate, high volumes of compounds that contain lectins. and lots of vegetable oils, which are high in an oxidized omega-6 called linoleic acid, which causes more insulin resistance than carbohydrate does. And these compounds, all three of them, are detrimental to health and well-being, but they're everywhere we go, on every high street corner, in every shop, and it's incredibly difficult to get away from them, you know?
It's difficult to find clean food. It really is difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy when we're eating out to ask for, substitution. So, oh, instead of the mashed potatoes, can you give me more salad? But still, even then, you can't guarantee, okay, give me the salad, but without any dressing. And then it goes on and on. It's really difficult if you're used to clean eating.